Good evening, everyone. This is Sudhir Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacognosy, ISF College of Pharmacy, Muga, Punjab. So today I will be presenting a topic on phytosomes, that is novel herbal drug delivery system. So let us know what are phytosomes. Phytosomes are advanced herbal drug delivery system that has demarcated the undefined bioavailability of secondary metabolites, thereby enhancing their clinical utility. Basically, phytosomes are phytophospholipid complex that can be prepared by chemically reacting phospholipids and active chemical constituents derived from crude drugs in stoichiometric ratio. So a specific stoichiometric ratio of phospholipids and active chemical constituents is required to react chemically to prepare the phytosomes. So this phytosome technology is basically designed for the hydrophilic phytoconstituents such as phenolics that can be chemically incorporated into the phospholipid molecules so as to produce the lipid compatible molecular complex, and these molecular complexes are called as phytosomes. So these phytosomes improve the permeability of phytoconstituents through cellular membranes and thereby crossing the physiological barriers to produce the desired therapeutic effect. Moreover, the phytophospholipid complex are widely employed in transdermal drug delivery due to the enhancement in percutaneous absorption of phytoconstituents. Numerous patents related to phytosomes has been filed by the researchers in the last decade. Now let us see how these phytosomes impart lipophilicity to the hydrophilic phytoconstituents. So as we know that hydrophilic phytoconstituents possess limited permeation through cellular biomembranes. So they can't cross the physiological barrier to desired extent. Therefore, it has always been a question about low bioavailability of standardized plant extracts or isolated purified secondary metabolites that may further lead to failure while reaching the systemic targets. So the phytoconstituents fail to reach the systemic targets and does not produce the desired therapeutic effect. Therefore, what we need is to enhance the permeation of hydrophilic phytoconstituents so that they can reach the systemic circulation. Hence, hydrophilic moieties can be converted into lipid compatible complex by the phytosomal technique. Therefore, they will facilitate the secondary metabolites to reach the systemic circulation. Moreover, the permeation of secondary metabolites through phospholipid bilayer of cellular membranes can be enhanced by imparting lipophilicity on complexation with phospholipids. That will further contribute to the enhancement in the bioavailability of phytoconstituents. Hence, lipid insoluble phytoconstituents can be redesigned into lipid compatible therapeutic candidates by chemically assimilating them into phospholipids in a specific ratio. Next is how phospholipids can improve permeation. So it is a matter of fact that when we observe the structure of phospholipid, we find a hydrophilic head that contain a phosphate group and a lipophilic tail that is derived from the fatty acids. Now this hydrophilic head is the hydrophilic moiety of the phospholipid, that is the polar side of the phospholipid. What it will be contributing, it will facilitate the formation of new hydrogen bonds with the polar functional groups of the secondary metabolites. The polar functional group of secondary metabolites will get involved into the new hydrogen bond linkage, new chemical linkage in specific pattern on chemical reaction. And the fatty acid chain, it will facilitate the permeation of the phytoconstituent through cellular membrane, and further it will enhance the bioavailability of secondary metabolites. Now, as a result, the water soluble constituents that are hydrophilic chemical compounds can be entrapped into a phospholipid molecule, that is a lipid based system, to form the phytosome complex. Now, what does phytosomes assure? Reduced particle size of phytoconstituents. As we know that particle size has become an obstacle. So the particle size of the phytoconstituent should be reduced so that they can reach their systemic targets. So this phytosome technology assure reduction in the particle size of chemical compounds derived from the natural resources. Moreover, the rate of absorption of these phytoconstituent is upturned by the phytosome technique, and hepatoprotective action is also observed in this phytophospholipid complexes. Hence, improved stability of bioactives due to the chemical linkage can be observed by converting the phytoconstituents into phospholipid complexes. These phytosome technologies also increase ability of hydrophilic constituents to permeate through skin and can be utilized as an formulation tool to design noble dermal dosage forms. The phytosomes also assure delivering high concentration of bioactives at desired site of action. Further, the pharmacokinetic and pharmacological profile of bioactives is also increased by the phytosome technique. Phytosome technology also assure about the systemic targeting, that is transition from the hydrophilic to lipophilic environment can be seen after the complexation of phytoconstituents with the phospholipid moieties. Moreover, the reduced dose of phytoconstituents to produce the desired therapeutic effect is also an aim and objective of this technique. Therefore, the decreased hurdles in the delivery of phytoconstituents and increased permeation of phytoconstituents through visceral biomembranes, on the whole, it will enhance the bioavailability, and the defined bioavailability of secondary metabolite over the herbal extract can be achieved with the phytosome technology. Now let us see about the phytosomal advantages. So here you can see that these phytosome complexes are safe and synergistic dosage forms. So with low or non-toxic hazards have been reported, no adverse events have been reported in the studies with these phytosome complexes. Moreover, these phytosome complexes are biodegradable and assist in transdermal drug delivery approaches also. And this phytosome technology is a cost-effective technique. And on the whole, the bioavailability of the phytoconstituents can be enhanced with these phytosome methods. Now let us understand what is stoichiometric ratio. So as we have studied here that phytoconstituents and phospholipids should be taken in stoichiometric ratio to form the complexes. Now what is this stoichiometric ratio? The water-soluble constituents are chemically entrapped in each phospholipid molecule during the formulation of phytosomes. Therefore, a stoichiometric ratio of the phytoconstituents and phospholipids by weight are required to react to prepare the phytophospholipid complex. So what does it mean? That the total mass of the phytophospholipid complex that will be prepared will equal to the mass of the phospholipid taken and mass of the phytoconstituents taken to react with the phospholipid. So it is basically calculation of reactant and products in chemical reaction. So stoichiometric is basically based on the law of conservation of mass, where the total mass of the reactant is equal to the total mass of the product. So that's why we have taken a stoichiometric ratio to prepare the phytophospholipid complexes. Now, after this, let us consider the stability factors. So stability factors are utmost important to consider while formulating a phytophospholipid complex. The stability of the phospholipid complex depends upon the various factors like drug and phospholipid ratio, reaction time, temperature, solvent evaporation method, drying method, and moreover, additives used in the phytosomal formulation can be selected on the basis of dosage form design and its mode of drug delivery. So these stability factors are to be evaluated as they will further define the shelf life of the prepared phytosome complex. Now, stoichiometric ratio of phytoconstituents and phospholipid also affect the stability of prepared complex. So it is required to determine the drug entrapment, that is maximum drug entrapped in phospholipid, so as to adjust the stoichiometric ratio. So depending upon the entrapment efficiency, depending upon the nature of the phytoconstituents, depending on the nature of the phospholipid involved in the reaction, we have to check the drug content which is entrapped in each phospholipid molecule to further adjust and further finalize the stoichiometric ratio of active constituents and phospholipid. So specific ratio of the phospholipid and active chemical constituents can be taken. It can be 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 1:5, and so on. Similarly, solvent also affect the stability of the prepared complex. The solvent that can be used for the this chemical reaction can be protic solvent like ethanol and methanol, or it can be aprotic solvent like aromatic hydrocarbons like N-hexene and halogen derivatives, methylene chloride, ethyl acetate, or it can be also used as acetone can also be used as aprotic solvent. Now, next coming to about the type of phospholipids that can be suitable for the phytosome formulation. Mostly glycerophospholipids are the major phospholipids which are utilized to prepare the phytophospholipid complexes. They contain a hydrophilic head group and two hydrophobic fatty acid chains. So different phospholipids, it can be a phosphatidylcholine, it can be phosphatidylethanolamine, it can be phosphatidylserine. And among these, phosphatidylcholine is the most frequently used to prepare the phospholipid complexes. Now in this slide, I have shown the structure of a phospholipid molecule along with the structure of phytoconstituents. So here you can see that hydrophobic tail of the phospholipid is represented by the green color, and hydrophobic head of phospholipid is represented by the red color. So this hydrophobic head of the phospholipid, in which the phosphate group is present along with the oxygen atom, this offer the formation of new hydrogen bonds, offer new chemical linkages with the secondary metabolites. So as we can see that there are numerous hydroxyl group in each of the phytoconstituents, which is mentioned in the slide. Either it is gallic acid, apigenin, quercetin, rutin, naringenin, ellagic acid, or dihydroquercetin. So there are numerous phenolic hydroxyls or hydroxyl moieties. So these hydroxyl moieties can undergo chemical linkage with the hydrophilic head of the phospholipid, and hydrophobic tail will facilitate the permeation of this complex into the through the physiological barriers, through the cellular membranes, through the phospholipid bilayers, or through the visceral biomembranes, so as to reach the systemic circulation and produce desired effect at reduced dose with safe and synergistic combination. So apart from this, there are numerous phytoconstituents which can also be used to convert into the phytosomes or phospholipid complexes. So few of them I have mentioned here. So next comes to the method of preparation of phytosome complex. So first method, that is solvent evaporation method. So what we will do, we will take the phytoconstituent and the phosphatidylcholine in a stoichiometric ratio. We will dissolve them in a suitable solvent. Then we will reflux them at 40 degrees Celsius for 4 to 6 hours. So after reflux, we will check the formation of the phytophospholipid complex in the round bottom flask visually, and then we will lyophilize the sample to remove the solvent. And after the lyophilization, that is freeze drying, we will store the prepared complex in a desiccator. So coming to the second method, that is anti-solvent precipitation method. In this case, what we will do, we will take the secondary metabolites and phospholipids in a stoichiometric ratio. We will dissolve them in minimum amount of the organic solvent, say 20 ml of acetone or chloroform, depending upon the chemical nature of these secondary metabolites and depending on the solubility of the phospholipid. We will allow them to reflux at temperature below 50 degrees Celsius for 2 to 3 hours. Then we will concentrate the reaction mixture and reduce the volume up to 10 ml. So on reducing the volume up to 10 ml, what we will do, we will add low polarity solvent such as hexane. So on addition of the hexane, we will check that whether there is any kind of precipitation in the round bottom flask. If there is any kind of precipitation, that will indicate the formation of the complexes. We will filter that precipitates, and then we will remove the solvent content from the precipitates, and finally we will store the powder complex in dark amber colored bottle for further characterization at room temperature. So now third method to prepare the phytosome complex is rotaevaporator process. So what we will do, we will take the phytoconstituents and phospholipids in a stoichiometric ratio. Then we will stir the content in round bottom flask in rotaevaporator for 2 to 3 hours. Depending on the nature of the phytoconstituent and the phospholipid taken, reflux can also be carried out prior to the processing in rotaevaporator. So after stirring for 2 to 3 hours in rotaevaporator, what we will check? We will check the formation of thin film layer on the inner wall of round bottom flask. And the thin film layer will indicate the formation of cellular vesicles. Then we will hydrate the layer either with the phosphate buffer, and then we will collect that the layer of the phytosomes. And then we will store them in an amber colored glass container at controlled temperature and humidity. Now, after the formation of the phytosome complex, it is required that characterization and confirmation of the complex formation should be done. So, how this characterization can be carried out? There are some techniques from which we conclude that the complex has been formed. Either it is an infrared spectroscopy technique, or it is an X-ray diffraction studies. It can also be carried out with nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, and characterization can also be carried out with differential scanning colorimetry thermogram study. So as we know that FTIR, that is infrared spectroscopy, is a powerful method for the structural elucidation of different functional groups present in secondary metabolites. So what we will observe characteristic peaks at specific wave numbers in the IR spectrum of phospholipid, active constituent, and the prepared complex. So that will be compared, and that will conclude the formation of phytophospholipid complex. And similarly, in X-ray diffraction studies, what we will do, we will observe the crystalline peaks and compare the X-ray spectrum of phytophospholipid complex and phytoconstituents. Similarly, in nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, we will elucidate the hydrogen bonds formation between the polar functional group of the bioactives, that can be hydroxyl group, phenolic hydroxyl groups, and phospholipids that will confirm about the formation of the complex. Similarly, in DSC thermograms, we will check that either there is any appearance of new peaks, and we will also compare transition temperature, and we will observe about the disappearance of the original peaks, changing in melting point, and change in relative peak area in the thermogram of phytophospholipid complex, phospholipid, and phytoconstituents. So it is required that characterization of the phospholipid complex so as to confirm the formation of chemical linkage. Now, this is the whole schematic diagram, which will represent that formulation of the phytosome can be done with any of the suitable method, depending on the nature of the phytoconstituents and depending on the content of phospholipid used. It can be an anti-solvent precipitation method, it can be a solvent evaporation method, it can be lyophilization method. So after formulation of phytosomes, the characterization, it is utmost important to carry out to characterize the phospholipid complex. So characterization can be carried out by morphological evaluation with SEM and TEM studies, that is scanning electron microscope and transmission electron microscope, to evaluate the morphology of the prepared complex. Then characterization can also be carried out with the infrared spectroscopy techniques, that is again with the DSC, and entrapment efficiency is also evaluated. That is the drug content, the amount of the drug which is entrapped in the given phospholipid molecule is calculated. Same way, partition coefficient studies is also carried out, and estimation of zeta potential, polydispersity index, particle size analysis is carried out for the prepared phospholipid complex. So after characterization, stability studies are carried out. That can be include in vitro dissolution studies, or it can be a drug release studies or accelerated stability studies. After the stability studies, the in vitro and in vivo evaluation, that is during bio evaluation of the prepared complex, is carried out. So here I have mentioned few commercially available phytozones which are available globally in the pharmacy. So we can see here that various phytoconstituents like epigallocatechin that are present in green tea phytozones possess antioxidant and anti-cancer activity are available in pharmacy. Same way, ginkgolides that are biosynthesized in Ginkgo biloba. So ginkgolides are active constituents of the ginkgo phytozones that possess neuroprotective and further improve blood circulation also. Thereby, it is used in the treatment of paralysis also. Same way, phytoconstituents that is silibin in the silibin phytozones possess hepatoprotective activity, and licorice phytozones containing glycyrrhetinic acid possess anti-inflammatory activity, and grapeseed phytozones containing procyanidins possess antioxidant and anti-cancer activities. Another commercially available phytozones are turmeric phytozones. So it basically contains curcuminoids and possess enhanced antioxidant and anti-cancer activity as compared to curcuminoids. So next is Oleoselect phytozones. So it is a registered trademark product, Oleoselect phytozones containing proanthocyanidins that will inhibit the oxidation of LDL and can be used further in the treatment of atherosclerosis. Next is saw palmetto phytozones containing saw palmetto berries extract for the normal functioning of the prostate gland. Another important and commercially available product is Brahmi phytozones containing bacosides, and it possesses neuroprotective activity and also used in various skin disorders. So next is Hawthorne phytozones. It contains flavonoids and used as nutraceutical and also possess cardioprotective activity. So only few I have mentioned. Numerous other products are also available in the pharmacy produced by the phytosomal technology. So here I have mentioned few companies which are engaged in the production of the phytosome products like Indina Labs, Jamieson Natural Resources, Thorn Research, Natural Factor, and Nature Herb. So here we can see that quercetin along with the combination of vitamin C is available as phytosomes in the pharmacy, and curcumin phytosomes are available under the brand name of Norflow. Same way, green tea phytosomes that are available as dietary supplement are available under the brand name of Thorn phytosomes. And extract of Ginkgo biloba formulated by the phytosomal technology is available in the form of Captab soft gel capsules. Apart from this, some other products which are available in the form of phytosomes globally, I have mentioned in this slide. I have also mentioned a topical dosage form with the brand name of Panda Cream. So this is a multi-active cream that is prepared with the phytosomal technology that is available in the pharmacy. And in this slide, I have also mentioned the Boswellia phytosomes that is used in the treatment of rheumatoid arthritis. So it is also recommended for joint health and joint mobility. So numerous other phytosome products are also available. So on the whole, phytophospholipid complex technique has evolved as advanced frontier aspect in defining systemic circulation of the standardized herbal extract or secondary metabolites which are derived from the medicinal plants and other crude drugs. However, optimization and characterization along with quantitative and qualitative analysis of the literature. So it means that optimization and characterization are the utmost important part while formulating phytosomes prior to the biological evaluation. So novel phytosome complexes find applications as antioxidant, cardioprotective, anti-inflammatory, hepatoprotective, anti-cancer action, cosmeceuticals, and nutraceuticals. So with this emerging formulation tool, Phytosome has re-explained the relevance of herbals in modern drug targeting approaches. Thank you.